Okay, and we're back. I just want to close this. Don't worry, I saved it just in case we need to reference it. Now, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to be painting this to its fullest potential. So, hold on to your butts. Now, don't worry, I'm not, this is the original, this is mine. So don't worry, I'm not going to go over top of their work. Like, I'm not going to paint over the original because I need it to compare. So, real quick, one thing I noticed is there's a lot of haloing around this piece. Let me look at the original. It's a little easier to see, I think. So there's like some little bits of like gray that go all the way around the booties. This is like a really common thing. No big deal. So we're just gonna kind of match our colors and paint over and everything. So also, instead of going back down to 72 DPI, I just left everything cranked up to, oh gosh, I can't remember what it was now. I went back up to 300 DPI, so there is going to be a little bit of distortion in this painting. The original's not going to be quite as clear as it could have been. Not that artist's fault, just kind of a preference thing for how I like to work. So probably my version that's painted over is going to look a lot sharper, but that doesn't have anything to do with skill. That's just because of the DPI I'm working at. So what I'm doing is I'm bumping the control button, or no, sorry, the alt button while I still have the brush tool selected, and that gives me the eyedropper tool, and then I just quickly tap. Wow. That plane's being a jerk. He's like, oh hey, Emma, you painting? You know. Anyway, so I'm just tapping, matching the colors, bringing them in. So here, let's see, I'm trying to find like, so a crease from that muscle would be like right in there. Now I am kind of shuffling through this pretty quick because I've got other work to do today. But if this was a piece that I was going to be spending more time on, or if it belonged to me, I would spend more time on it. But for now, we're just kind of getting through it. Now I'm just using the sketch as a guideline. I actually kind of like to leave the sketches in and paint over them and stuff, but for yins I'm gonna just leave it up. I'm probably not gonna like blend it all the way down. Isn't this fun? Also, I'm not being sarcastic. I just feel bad you guys had to sit here and kind of like watch me hem and haw around with this. So what kind of color is that? So one thing I'm doing is I'm just trying to define Link's face from Oh my goodness, that child out there. I'm just trying to define Link's face from the arm in the background. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is... That's right, I never really cleaned up this hand. Whoopsie doopsie. So we're just going to kind of paint over top of it. Oh boy, that kid talks a lot. Some child lover out there is going to be like, Emmy, show some respect. It's a child. No. Okay, so let's keep moving. Oh no. Child fell. I cursed them. I'm so sorry, my door's open. Now my dog's complaining, like, oh, Emmy, shut your door. I'm trying to take a doggy nap. Okay, so one thing I noticed was his skirt is kind of like gone over here. So we're just gonna paint it back in. I'm gonna make the sketch a little lighter. Oops, wrong layer. Okay. So, when I paint, I'm a little harder edged. I tend to not shade things as softly as I could, though I do try. It's just, I come from the school of I come from the school of cell shading, so I tend to not like to soft shade much, just preference wise. Quiet. So I realize I'm kind of painting over some details and stuff here, like the little golden baubles or buttons or whatever the hell those things are that are on Link's tunic and gloves and everything. But I'm just trying to give you guys a general idea of what's going on here. Whoa! Not quite that oily. Okay. Oh, and by the way, right there I was doing my faux smudge tool, which I have a tutorial for that on YouTube, and you can, if you go to my tutorial playlist, you can look at that. And I believe it is titled just like faux smudge tool. So one thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring in a slightly different color because I am having some trouble getting quite as dark in some places as I would like to. Like right here, this like fold behind the knee. This should all be a lot darker. At least in my humble opinion. I always worry somebody's like gonna come out of the woodwork and be like, well, I don't think it should be like that, and just like give me a real hard time. And it's like, well, then geez, don't. You don't have to. Oh, somebody's sick. I can hear coughing. Little croupy child coughs. Now, my feet are like horrendously blocky because I didn't spend enough time on them. And I'm starting to feel like a little guilty now. But I hope that there is enough information here to help you out, my wayward artiste travelers. This should be turned more too. Ugh. Yeah, I always have people ask me why I prefer to use, like, if you come to my live stream, you'll see that if I make like a row of mistakes, rather than clicking Control Z a bunch, I tend to just click backwards in history, and a lot of times it's because I'm doing this. I have my fingers like poised over the whatchamacallit, Alt, so that I can quickly select colors. I also do not have my Control Z to shuttle set up to shuttle backwards like a million steps. It only goes back one step and that's it. Just preference, I guess. It's also why I don't use hotkeys a lot. I had somebody kind of give me guff one time. They were like, oh, you're so slow. You'd be faster if you used hotkeys. And I'm like, dude, I am fine. I don't need you coming in here telling me my business. Okie dokie. So now we're gonna muscle up these calves a bit. Well, they were muscled to begin with, but I sort of moved things around, so now they're anti-muscled. This is fun. I hope more people send me paintings that I can kind of ruin. Whee! No, I hope I'm not doing too bad on this. This is the first one I've ever done on camera, so... Okay, so what do we want here? We want... some light to be cast down here. What? child just went up, 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 and I was like, okay. This area here, this like place where the knee kind of like folds in to the back, or like it's like the back of the knee where it like connects to the calf and the thigh and all that. This always needs like a lot of extra attention, and I'm not really giving it. One thing that would help is moving the boot cuff down. I had it too high. Alright, let's step back and look at our work. Whew, that's really scribbly up in there. Let me just throw a filter on there. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay, it's not great, but ugh, that's my bad. Anyway, so let me take the sketch off. Wow, I like totally decimated these hands. I feel so bad. Oh well. Ah. Okay, so let's round this. Let's compare. Yeah, the legs still definitely need work, but I think they're getting closer to where I think they ought to be. Oops. So, one thing is that his, like, you know, the hat part of his Zora-ness, this part would not cast a shadow this pointed this far down. It would actually kind of end there. The problem with that is then this edge is not as defined as it could be, and that's just something I think you're going to run into a little bit with this because he's basically all one color. It would take a lot more in-depth shading to sort of break all these like parts apart. Sorry, I'm just kind of messing around. Let's start going into my own little painting world. Whee! These legs will haunt me. I feel like I haven't done enough good work on them. But I've only got so much time to do so much. Sorry I'm being so quiet. I'm just thinking. I do think I've cleaned up some of the anatomy. I hope it's better. I'm like kind of sad. I'm like, ooh, I'm worried. So one thing that I was going to recommend you doing is somebody found her bone. Let's do contiguous. My poor computer, it just can't handle this. It's trying to select multiple things at once while I'm recording, and it's probably not too happy about that. So okay, that's enough. I can kind of make it work from here. So the thing that I wanted to recommend that you do is to, let me go to a new layer, is to put a little bit of a gradient over him because he's sort of in the original even. He's kind of not, I don't think he really has a, you know, like this part that's near the surface of the water isn't any brighter or darker than the part that's going deeper into the water. So I would recommend doing a gradient. Don't worry, I'm working on a new layer, so this won't be. Okay. And then down here, we're going to put like a blue. I'm sorry my computer's kind of wigging out a little bit. It's just that I'm recording and it doesn't like that. Yeah, I've had a few of you offer some advice and help on how to get this to function a little better when I'm recording. Trust me, it's gonna function as good as it is now. I've got it running on like a bajillion processors, and I got it more CPU and RAM and all that good stuff, all that computery crap, and it's still kind of like meh when it records. So this is probably as good as it's gonna get. Ooh, I like that. I'm just messing around with your painting now. I'm just ruining it. I'm just seeing what different colors look like. Hello. Oh, there it goes. I'm trying to put like that, you know, like when water comes through on like the light from up above is sort of like going down on the rocks and things like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about. It kind of leaves like that like shattery looking quality. I'm trying to do that sort of half-assy. Whoa, no. What's it doing? Oh, there it goes. It came back. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Oh my goodness, I'm almost at another half an hour. I'm gonna have to stop recording here soon. I'm trying to only allot myself half an hour's. But, yeah, I'm just playing around with your painting. I'm sorry. Let's put some shines on the bubbles. Let's put some shines on I almost called him Zelda and you never would have forgiven me. On Link. Let's put some highlights on him. I'm doing this so loosey-goosey. This is not recommended for home consumption. Come on! This thing's loading really slow. It's just like, hey. Well, I think I'm going to be wrapping this up now. So I just want to say thank you to Ninja Comics at deviantart.com for letting me screw around with their Zora'd link. I said that really strange, like Zora. But yeah, I think we had some fun. So, ooh, it's so green now. Also, if you don't like it, don't use it. But if the anatomy stuff helped you a little, wow, that's red. I was gonna try to bring back the red a little bit from his, wow. No, it doesn't want to let me do that. I think something else I would do, sorry, I know I'm supposed to be wrapping this up, is I would try to make some of these shadows even darker to try to add some more definition. And this is purely an up to you thing. If you don't like it, if you like it a little softer or what have you. Because I feel like you could still take the shading about a million more miles on this. I barely grazed the surface. I've kind of just like given you a little bit to work with, but like in my opinion, not enough. So yeah. I would recommend taking it 2 more million billion miles. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Wait. We're gonna do one more thing. I'm having too much fun with this. I really am. I'm just like, wee. So I'm just gonna use the polygonal lasso tool to put some lines here. Try to avoid him as much as possible. You'll see why. And I'm not going to avoid the stone. So kind of doing a fan shape, and then we're going to fill that with white. We're going to go to filter. Actually, we're going to say multiply. Inner glow. overlay, white size huge. And then we're going to go filter, blur, Gaussian, more. So now there's like these things down here, but we'll just stretch it and you won't be able to see it. So just take it, go here. Ooh. I love doing that. Isn't that fun? It's not perfect. There's some like edges here you'd have to get rid of and stuff, but isn't that just a delight? I sound like the sponge lady. But the reason it would need to be darker where he is because he's in the way. And so he's not letting the light down through. Sorry, I'm having like way too good of a time with this. So, once again, let's thank ninjacomics.deviantart.com for the original, which you see right here. And then this is the Redline, which is kind of rough, but I hope it helps a little bit defining some edges. I hope. But anyway, so yeah, that was fun. I like that. I want to do more painty things with paintiness. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later, okay? And yep, and that's all I've got to say, so goodbye.